How you doing? I have a confession to make. You see me standing here in a tuxedo, but when I was a kid, I hated to get dressed up. I really hated bow ties, especially. My parents used to dress me up to take me to church, and just hated the way that I looked and felt. Isn't it funny how we change as we grow older? These days, I can't wait to get all spiffed up, put on my bow tie, and I'm especially excited to put it on each year for this festival because Music in May impacts so many students who come here to make music. Now we know, of course, that most of these students do not plan to make music their career, and yet they spend countless hours in private practice to master their instrument, including the voice. And why is that? Why do students study music, or art, or dance when they have no intention of making it their career? Well, perhaps they have a friend who's doing the same thing and they want to be together with that friend. Perhaps they heard that their school ensemble is pretty good and they wanted to belong to something that stands for excellence. Perhaps their parents have threatened to cut off their allowance if they don't practice. Of course, we parents would never resort to threats, would we? Actually, my colleague, Dr. Michael Huff, had a great idea. He and his wife agreed that their children would all take piano lessons or they would not get their driver's license. And as soon as I heard that, I thought, wow, I wish I'd have thought of that. Actually, I suspect the students that you see before you thrive on challenge. Because since they arrived here, they've endured demanding conductors, exhausting rehearsals, broken instruments, sore lips and fingers, and scratchy throats. And nevertheless, as they worked through the music and began to bond with our wonderful guest conductors, an extraordinary thing happened. These 450 individual students, who had never played together before, managed to maintain their individuality, but they allowed themselves to be drawn into something greater than themselves. I only wish that those who would cut funding for school arts programs could understand this kind of thinking. If they could. So over the course of 3 days, about 450 individuals were transformed into 3 performing ensembles, each of them with their own unity of thought, strength of purpose, and a commitment to excellence. No obstacle could prevent them from performing in such a superb fashion for you. And I couldn't be more proud of these students. And I have to tell you just one more story. There was one school whose director called us on Tuesday of this week and said, I don't think my students can come because the school board has decided at the last minute that they cannot sanction this Music in May as a school-sponsored event. And we talked several times on the phone, we exchanged several emails, and the upshot of it was that the school board did not budge. And so for that school, Music in May is not a school-sponsored event. But the parents brought the students anyway. So we've been talking about transformation, where individuals are transformed into cohesive groups. I have 2 more transformations for you, and one of them has to do with myself. 15 years ago, I retired from the Navy. Every time Anchors Away plays, I leap to my feet. For just that little bit of a moment, my feet leave the ground before they come back down, and I'm standing upright and erect. And you may have noticed that my much, much better half, Jane, also rose with me. She is retired Navy also. And Mark Camphouse has inspired me to do something that I've never done before. And so I would ask Josh Eidson if perhaps he would come forward. I think he has something for me. Somebody, anybody? Right there. Aha, okay. So don't anybody get nervous. The only thing I'm going to take off is my jacket. I've been at Pacific University for 15 years, but I was in the Navy for twice that time. And frankly, I'm just glad this bad boy still fits. So it's my great privilege to pay one more bit of homage to our wonderful country. And one more transformation as we take three individual groups and meld them into one to perform America the Beautiful. It's been a tradition to perform this work at the end of Music in May for many, many years now. I can't think of a better way to conclude a festival concert. If you can think of one, please let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, America the Beautiful.